The news is brought to you by Caicos Oil, meeting the energy demands of a growing nation. Raceway IGA, bringing quality, service, and value. And Cable and Wireless, your choice, our voice.
Topping the news this evening, police releases crime statistics, latest court reports, and golfers return victorious. This is Channel 4 News. You're tuned into Channel 4 News for Thursday, May 4th, 2006. I'm Yasmin Rigby Blues. Thanks for joining us. We'll take a short break and return after these few words from our valued sponsors.
To grow and become a nation, a country's resources are important. From its people, to finance, to developing infrastructure and institutions, to its energy resources. We at Caicos Oil are doing our part to grow the nation. Our diesel and gasoline fuels are providing energy to service our growing industries, providing clean and reliable energy while protecting our environment. Caicos Oil, meeting the energy demands of a growing nation.
At Graceway IGA, we start fresh every day. Our bakery bakes bread fresh each morning and throughout the day. We carry the freshest fruits and vegetables, guaranteed highest quality USDA choice or higher Black Angus beef, top quality pork, and direct from the producer, the freshest chicken. If you're not completely satisfied, we'll cheerfully refund your purchase. At Graceway IGA Supermarket, we're dedicated to quality, service, and value. Great meals always begin at Graceway IGA.
Hey team, did you know that it's only 25 cents a minute to call Haiti, the Dominican Republic, the Bahamas, and Jamaica?
Only 40 cents to the Philippines and the rest of the world.
Hold on. Wait a minute. Y'all only talking about our international rates. What about our local calls as low as 8 cents per minute but billed per second? And voicemail retrieval is free.
Not only good rates, we have the best handsets and the best handsets offers.
Only the best for you.
Cable and Wireless, your choice,
our voice.
The crime figures for the first quarter of this year was released by the Royal Turks and Caicos Police Force, revealing some rather interesting facts. Here's more on that. The crime statistics were released yesterday from the period 1st of January to the 31st of March 2006, which says that in these quiet islands invaded by development now records an average of 6 crimes per day. The report stated that there were a total of 559 crimes reported throughout the Turks and Caicos Islands during the first 3 months of this year, and after investigations, 9 of them were reclassified as no crime. 221 or 40% were detected, and 332 or 60% remains undetected. It was noted that 3 of the crimes reported in 2005 were detected in 2006. Inspector Hubert Hughes was interviewed about the statistics, to which he noted,
the actual detection rate gone up tremendously, and I think that is because we strengthened our support services last year, and now we are reaping the rewards of that.
Asked how they intend to address the situation, he said,
well, we strengthened our scenes and crime unit, and I think they're doing a great job. They're recovering physical evidence from most of the scenes, which we can use to help detect these crimes. We have about 32 detectives throughout the Turks and Caicos Islands.
Then on training, which would be necessary for detection of crime, he said,
well, we do some training here locally. For scenes and crime officers, they go overseas. For instance, the intermediate scenes and crime course is done in the UK, and the advanced scenes and crime course is also done in the UK. We do some training with the Metro-Dade Police Department in Florida as well in terms of scenes of crime.
As we noted that this is good news, Deputy Commissioner Hughes commented.
Yes, it's good news for us, and good news for the Turks and Caicos Islands, because it is difficult to reduce crime in a development society, because the more opportunities the criminals have, the more crime will be committed. And as you can see, we're enjoying a great economic boost here in the Turks and Caicos Islands, and more developments are going on all over the Turks and Caicos Islands. Therefore, it creates greater opportunities for criminals to operate. And we must, as a police force, continue to develop our support services as well as our preventative measures to intensifying our patrols in the outskirts of the Turks and Caicos Islands.
What is the main concern of the police force?
We have a rise in aggravated, robberies. We are concerned about robberies. I think we had a slight rise over last year's figures in terms of robberies. During the first quarter of 2005, we had 6 robberies reported compared to 11 for this period, which is just over 100% increase. And we're trying all our best to see if we could contain that and arrest those persons responsible. We believe we're on that path right now, and we'll continue to do so.
It was pointed out in the statistics that there was 30% increase in the number of burglaries reported and a 17% increase in thefts. Of course, the numbers in Providenciales outweigh all other islands, and Grand Turk coming in second. About the ways they are employing to recruit officers, he said.
Well, we do that through we're taking part in the school career day, which is conducted annually in the high schools, and by speaking to young men and women and telling them, educating them about the benefits by joining the police force. I think there's a lot of opportunities within the police force. It's just for us to get them out there and let the young people know that opportunities are great within the police force.
According to the statistics, there is one island that is fairly untouched, and that island is Salt Key, where there has not been any incidences of burglaries for this year. Going through this list of activities, overall, the number of crimes reported in Providenciales did see a decrease in crimes reported during the first 3 months by 16%, while in Grand Turk there was an 83% increase. South Caicos saw a 300% increase, which means they had a total of 20 so far for the year compared to last year where they had only 5. North Caicos saw 400% increase, representing 15 crimes reported compared to 3 of last year. And Middle Caicos, they stayed the same, meaning 1 reported last year and 1 reported this year. Under arrest, it was noted that there has been an increase in the number of crimes committed by local females and juvenile males. Last year, there were no local adult females arrested or charged. So far for the year, there has been 17. And while there were only 4 local male juveniles arrested or charged last year, this year that number has jumped to 24. There were 12 sexual offenses reported last year compared to 6 of this year, but the number of firearm offenses decreased from 14 to 3. We are looking forward to, with the increase in numbers in the police force, to see the number of crimes committed decreased and criminal detection increase. For Channel 4 News, I'm Yasmin Rigby Blues. This week, 2 men accused of the death of Christopher Daniels were taken before the Supreme Court, where they pled guilty to manslaughter and are awaiting sentencing scheduled for June 7th. Derek Rex Delancey, 27, was taken to court on Monday, and Dwight Forbes, 30, was taken to court on Tuesday. Both were originally charged with murder. Chris Daniels, age 35 at the time, was stabbed outside his home in Blue Hills in the early hours of 5th of August, 2005. It is alleged that a dispute took place between the deceased and the defendants prior to the stabbing. Both defendants were charged soon after the incident and have been in custody since. Derek Rex Delancey is represented by Mr. Clayton Green and Dwight Forbes by Mr. Riney Williams. Coming up, Cancer Society banquet with some interesting statistics. Tourist Board had a great season last year, and Cable and Wireless continuing their visits to the high schools.
Atlantic Caribbean Lines proudly announced the expansion of our LCL and consolidated service by moving to a larger warehouse in Fort Lauderdale, across the street from our old location, and the opening of the new Miami receiving facilities. Our vessels depart every Thursday and arrive probably every Sunday morning, which allows you to clear your goods the very next day and get a head start on your work week. It's really that simple. Save time, money, and headaches. Leave it to the professionals. For further information, call ACL at KRC at 946-4205. ACL KRC, always improving our customer service, always.
Do you know the pioneers of these islands? Join me, Michelle Lee Elliott, for Pioneers, Treasures of the TCI, a new TV program featuring past and present nation builders of the Turks and Caicos Islands.
For all your household appliances and electronic needs, the Music Man, located Airport Road, Providenciales.
TCI Sky King, the way to fly in the TCI and beyond, offers more scheduled flights to and from Providenciales, South Caicos, Grand Turk, Santiago, Puerto Plata, Cape Haitian, Port-au-Prince, Kingston, and Nassau. We have built a reputation over the past 10 years as an airline that offers premium service with modern turboprop aircraft, an unmatched on-time flight departure performance, more scheduled flights than any other carrier to destinations served. So when you have a need to travel within the Turks and Caicos, Dominican Republic, Haiti, Jamaica, or the Bahamas, let us be your carrier of choice. Call Sky King at 941-KING or 941-5464 for reservations and ticket prices. Sky King, the way to fly in the TCI and beyond.
Join the Community Fellowship Center along with Reverend Patrick Paul, Superintendent of the Assemblies of God in the Bahamas and Turks and Caicos, and Bishop Joseph Addy Gold of Jamaica, May 15th through 19th at 7 p.m. at Brayton Hall, Venetian Road, Providenciales, for a national conference entitled No More Chains, guaranteed to rebuild wholesomeness of our nation.
Welcome back. The Cancer Society held a grand banquet last weekend under the theme Facing Life with Passion. Nichelle Farrington has more on this.
On Saturday, April 29th, the National Cancer Society of the Turks and Caicos Islands held a banquet at Beaches Resort and Spa under the theme Facing Life with a Passion. The main aim of the society is to provide support for cancer patients and their families. During the period of April 1st, 2005 to March 31st, 2006, the NCS was able to raise $130,308.84 in tickets, donations, auctions, and dues alone. Out of that revenue, the society had to pay for projects, office expenses, and other promotions, bringing their net income to $21,559.83. More than anything, the society wanted to purchase a mammogram machine, a special X-ray that examines the breast, and they did just that in 2005. Unfortunately, they were unable to operate it and planned to hire trained personnel. If you've seen this woman before on Channel 4, you would know that her name is Dionne Warner, a 4-time cancer survivor and 2006 ambassador for Relay for Life, a unique community event that recognizes individuals who have survived cancer as well as honor those who have lost their life to that disease. She was given the opportunity during the banquet to tell her survival story.
It was now time to share my test results with my future husband. I proceeded to tell him that he did not have to marry me and that I would go back home to Ontario. The next words he said at that moment took my breath away. Graham, who is an avid pilot, said, "You never leave your wingman." I knew then that I was home. And together we would get through this. The hunt was now on to find a doctor I felt comfortable with. We found him. The next question was, is the tumor operable? A hospital in Calgary said no. However, a Mayo Clinic in the States was eager to meet with us. Then with great relief, a surgeon 2 hours away was willing to discuss my case. Graham and I postponed our wedding and headed up to Saskatoon. I'm happy to say the tumor was successfully removed, along with 51% of my liver and gallbladder. I remained in hospital for 2 weeks. Once again, chemotherapy was to follow upon my return home.
His Excellency the Governor Richard Tavares and Deputy Chief Minister and Minister of Health Honourable Floyd Hall gave these remarks at the ceremony.
The context for this evening is sadly a sobering one. Some very cursory research on the internet told me that the cancer rates are increasing. Recent research I read suggests that cancer cases will treble over the next 20 years. These are chilling statistics which emphasize the fact that this disease touches all of us and will touch all of us in some way, whether as patient, carer, relative or friend. And of course there are many, many stories which are tragic, and yet we find hope in the progress that has been made in fighting cancer. 30 years ago, for example, again my research on the internet tells me that cure rates for children were less than 10%. 30 years ago, 10%. But today the survival rate is over 77% and rising. Thanks to the dedicated doctors, nurses and scientists, we seem to be closer than ever to finding cures. Research and technology are helping us make great strides, and so are the survivors.
Being the Minister of Finance and the Minister of Health, from time to time we meet in Executive Council and we have to deal with situations as it relates to the expenditure on health patients. And another alarming situation is that recently we got a list of the persons who happened to incur costs in excess of $100,000. And basically every single one of them happened to be a cancer patient. I know the previous administration had to deal with the situation, and our government is no different. We are confronting this situation on a daily basis, and I must say to you tonight that we stand steadfast with you and your family members who happen to be afflicted with the disease, and government pledges its unequivocal support and finances behind you to try and make sure that you can get the health and the attention that you need.
Music was provided by saxophonist Javon Laporte. After they dined, guests were asked to make a pledge to the NCS with its ongoing mammography screening program. If you'd like to make a contribution to this worthy cause, contact Lucille Libran, President of the National Cancer Society. Nichelle Farrington for Channel 4 News.
The Turks and Caicos Tourist Board is celebrating what they term a very successful season for the 2005-2006 fiscal year, in addition to providing a comprehensive list of activities and achievements. They noted that through collaboration with their tourist partners, increased promotional activity and advertising campaigns, the destination experienced a 16.6% increase in tourist arrivals and a 30% increase in tourist accommodation, while keeping expenditure within the budgetary limits. It was also noted that during the year, the Tourist Board completed the review of the Turks and Caicos Strategic Tourism Plan. Director of Tourism, Lindsay Musgrove, commented that by all accounts, the board had a very productive year. Cable and Wireless is continuing their gift giving to high school students around the islands. Beginning in Providenciales on Monday, they moved on to North Caicos on Tuesday, South Caicos on Wednesday, and today they're in Grand Turk. Here's more on that. The Cable and Wireless team, led by Chief Executive Mr. Drexel Seymour, were in South Caicos on Wednesday, where they again presented the principal with a Motorola Razr handset and the school with a check, while the students got goodie bags that included yellow T-shirts, which represented the school's color. This being Mr. Seymour's alma mater, he said that he was treating them really special, as he also gave the students some advice.
And I will continue to support this school, all the schools in Turks and Caicos Islands, because education is the key. And I noticed some of you laughed when Mr. Fulford was speaking, but what Mr. Fulford said is serious. I can confirm what he's saying. And we really need to take this seriously. Sometimes we complain about foreigners taking over, but we can't complain about that. We can't expect because you're Turks and Caicos Islander, you think you're gonna get the job. You need to qualify to get the job. The opportunity is here, and Cape Miles is proud to be part of that opportunity. We've been in this country for the past 108 years.
He said that he wanted to see some of the students also working with Cable and Wireless, or that one of them should strive to be the chief executive like himself. He said that he would not be in this position for the rest of his life.
And that is why it's important for me as a CEO to be successful as well, because if I fail, the entire Turks and Caicos Islands fail. And you don't want us to fail, right? We want to show the world that we in the Caribbean, we can perform just like any other nation in the world. And we can do it.
Mr. Seymour then adopted the school's basketball team, which was welcomed by the school and the team. For Channel 4 News, I'm Yasmin Rigby Blues.
Golds and diamonds are precious to us. Goldsmith Duty Free Jewelry Store gives you once-in-a-lifetime offer. On sale, necklaces, chains, and rings to give you that dazzling look of elegance. Leather belts, watches, ties, and so much more at unbeatable prices. Come and get your dollar's worth. Goldsmith Duty Free Jewelry Store, Central Square, Providenciales. Telephone 946-4100.
In order to capture the opportunities before you, you need to be drug-free, so stay away from drugs.
In order to capture the opportunities before you, you need to be healthy, so practice safe sex. Or better yet, abstain.
In order to capture the opportunities before you, you must stay focused and positive.
So surround yourself with positive things and positive people. In order to capture the opportunities before you,
you must be educated. So stay in school and learn as much as you can.
We will rise to capture the opportunities before us.
We will rise to capture the opportunities before us. Stay drug-free.
Sponsored by the Turks and Caicos Islands Department of Youth Affairs.
At the Do It Center, we are here to make the best even better.
You're not gonna eat? Oh, you know, I'm not that hungry. Just a little bit. Those wings? I'll take one. Oops, I got two. Is that shrimp? Just a little dip. Oh.
Don't know what else to do to save money? At Scotiabank, you can get a personalized savings plan that takes into account your income and spending, so you can save easily and regularly.
Tonight, I'm treating.
Come see how we can make a difference. Scotiabank. Life, money, balance both.
Participants of the recent Caribbean Classic Golf Tournament have returned with much excitement over their victories. Kayla Lightbourne was on hand for the cocktail reception in their honor.
Roughly 30 local golfers have just returned from this year's Caribbean Golf Classic held in Casa de Campo, Dominican Republic. The four-day event saw 10 teams from around the region competing for the prestigious title, in which Team TCI placed fourth. On Wednesday evening, a crowd of nearly 100 people gathered at Gillies Cafe at Leeward for a post-tournament celebration. Mr. Wade, can you tell us about the tournament that you just returned from?
Yes, we've been playing at Casa de Campo in the Caribbean Classic Golf, and that was from the 26th to the 30th of April. We've just got back on Sunday night.
Okay, how was it?
It was very, very good. It was a very, very good competition. We did very well because we only had a team of about 33 players, and some of the other teams were actually up into the 70s and 80 players. So we did very, very well. We finished 4th overall.
I want to say a special thanks to all of you who have taken part in the Caribbean Classic, not only this year, but over the years. Actually, me and Mosey and a few guys thought that it should be good for us to get together and celebrate how well we have done and the fun we've had together. But I also want to say from the bottom of my heart how much me personally and my government appreciate over the years the effort and energy that all of you have taken and are representing Turks and Caicos overseas. We really appreciate that, and the experience that I've had in this tournament and the last one is that when we overseas, we're so united. And I hope that we could bring that same united back in our community.
I must truly commend you guys on the achievement. It was only recently that we started playing golf here in the Turks and Caicos Islands competitively, and I understand that we placed 4th, and also that we missed the 3rd spot by just a mere 4 points, just behind the Bahamas. Now, that is truly incredible for such a young country and such a young team to go out there and compete with the formidable teams of the Bahamas, Barbados, the Dominican Republic, and the others. So I must congratulate you there.
You sponsored tonight's event. Why?
Yes, because I think hard work and, all these players go out there and they try very hard to win the tournament. And I just thought it was the best thing. And I, speak to Honorable Williams that I think we should do something for these players and encourage more players to take part. The key is getting better. We came in 4th, and we would like to bring 1st place at home. And it's got a lot of practice, a lot of work towards it. And, I can say Chuck Musgrove, he did very well. He came 1st place in his flight. And I'd like to see much more came in their flight, And that's the plan for let's get better and bring 1st place to Turks and Caicos.
The Turks and Caicos Islands golf team has competed in this competition for the past 10 years, playing in places such as the Bahamas, Puerto Rico, Jamaica, and now the Dominican Republic. The final standings for the competition placed the U.S. Virgin Islands in 1st place, Trinidad and Tobago in 2nd, the Bahamas in 3rd, and Turks and Caicos in 4th place. Playing exceptionally well in their respective flights were Chuck Musgrove, who placed 1st in the 5th flight, and Don Gardner, who placed 2nd in the same flight. Mackie Mizik placed 3rd in the 7th flight, and Honorable Galmo Williams placed 5th in that same flight. For the ladies, Michael Ann Boyer captured 2nd place in the 4th flight, and Madeline Erskine 3rd in the 5th flight. From here, officials say the team plans to compete in the Caribbean Amateur Golf Championship at the Cinnamon Hills Golf Course in Montego Bay, Jamaica, July 30th through August 6th. Officials say followers wanting to go along for this trip should contact Thomas Wade, the president of the Golf Association. Reporting for Channel 4 News, I'm Kayla Lightbourne.
Could you help us deliver the best programs on television? Our goal is to become the most creative organization in the Caribbean. But in order to make it a reality, we need to keep on attracting the brightest, most creative and talented people just like you. Channel 4 is looking for a production trainee to join us and train on the job. Learn production techniques, office admin, carry out research, camera work, editing, and help in live programming. If you think you've got the stamina to work in a fast-paced but fun environment, then call Channel 4 at 941-3308.
You got to take care of yourself, Go through the whole 9 yards. When I went to the doctor, I got an HIV test, AIDS, everything down the line. Just got to be healthy. It's not that hard. Get tested. It's great, to make sure you're okay. You shouldn't be scared. Just go and get tested. It's better to know than to not know and affect others.
Are you wondering what to give your mother along with her flowers, gift basket, jewelry, or perfume this Mother's Day? Well, the Jericho Baptist Church has just a gift. But it's not only for mothers, it's something the whole family can enjoy. It's a Mother's Day concert extravaganza featuring the world-famous Grace Thrillers from Kingston, Jamaica. The place, Williams Auditorium. The date, May 14th. The time, 7:30 p.m. The price, adults before May 1st, $50. After May 1st, $65. And at the door, $70. VIP, $75. And children, $25. There will be prizes and surprises. So see you there.
In our regional news, autopsies have been conducted, but the mystery of what caused the death of 11 men found on a drifting vessel just off Barbados has not yet been solved. And after carrying out the postmortems on the decomposed bodies at the Queen Elizabeth Hospital, pathologist Dr. Stephen Jones deferred his findings until a later date. And local police, who have already called in Interpol to assist them in their investigations, have taken another step. They have contacted law enforcement officials in Senegal, where they believe the men came from, in an attempt to identify the corpses. The boat the men were traveling on was first spotted by fishermen on Saturday, April 29th, off Ragged Point, St. Philip, and was retrieved later the next morning by Barbados Coast Guard officials. Reports indicate that the vessels may have developed engine troubles and went adrift. It is believed the men subsequently died from hunger and thirst. Up next is the local weather forecast for the next few days. Stay tuned.
The weather forecast for the next few days predicts mostly sunny skies with temperatures up to 90 degrees and lows of 71. As for the winds, they're currently coming from the northeast at 11 miles per hour with a relative humidity of 69%. The sun rises at 6:15 a.m. and sets at 7:16 p.m. Low tide is at 8:06 p.m. and the next high tide is at 2:36 a.m. That's the look at your local weather forecast.
Thanks for tuning in to Channel 4 News for Thursday, May 4th, 2006. I'm Yasmin Rigby Blues. Do enjoy your evening.
The news was brought to you by Caicos Oil, meeting the energy demands of a growing nation. Raceway IGA, bringing quality, service, and value. And Cable and Wireless, your choice, our voice.
Removal of natural vegetation can result in erosion and flooding of the land. Sand mining destroys our beaches, and bleach and joy destroy our reefs.
Hello, my name is Judith Garland Campbell, Director of the Department of Environment and Coastal Resources. The DECR is about managing and conserving all of our natural resources, from the beautiful landscapes and vegetation to our beaches, coral reefs, and marine life. This year, the DECR urges you to give nature a helping hand and remember that everything is interrelated and our actions on land can have an impact on the marine and coastal environment. The Department of Environment and Coastal Resources, giving Mother Nature a helping hand.
All business license holders that had paid their annual renewal license fee for the current fiscal year beginning April 1st, 2006 to March 31st, 2007 are hereby informed that their business license certificates are ready for collection at the offices of the Revenue Control Unit in Grand Turk and Providenciales. Certificate collection in the Family Islands can be picked up at the offices of the Chief Minister. The Grand Turk office is located at Hibiscus Square, and the Providenciales office is located in the Town Center Mall adjacent to the Treasury. It is a requirement of the law to have your license displayed in a conspicuous place at the place of operation of the holder. Failure to do so will result in the imposition of a $1,000 fine by the magistrate, which could lead to suspension and revocation of your license. As a reminder, businesses neglecting to pay the annual renewal fee by the 30th of April 2006 will have to pay an additional penalty of 10% per month for each month the annual fee is outstanding, as stipulated by the business licensing regulations. Persons found trading without a valid license will be charged a fine of $10,000 and 2 years imprisonment. The full cooperation of all concerned is required, as the onus is on the licensee and trader to be compliant with all statutes.